Okay, so I was lucky enough to realize that very quickly that my phone has died and the videotaping stopped, but we're continuing. I'm continuing to record. I'm just going to tell you what happened. I curved out all the connectors, all the intersections I had when I created the circle that was connected quite naturally to this square resource in the first stage. And I felt the need to add another resource, another stability resource, another square. And I did that, and I'm going to curve that out. And I also realized that, I guess, before the last video ended, I kind of had in some instances, you saw a picture of my beautiful scarf. So just hope that's going to be okay with you. You see now what's happening. You can still see the picture, and it's interesting. So how did I find the square? I want to tell you the process was very intuitive. It didn't take me as long as it did in the first stage. I right away saw it. I saw a little something, some kind of something that told me I'm a square, and I just brought it out. Okay, so just remember that sometimes it's more natural and sometimes it's not natural, in which case you have to remember the part about the resistance. The resistance does exist, and we need to treat it with respect. We're happy, we accept your resistance, but with firm necessity to realize that this is what we need to do. We need to continue our, we need to continue our journey. We need to be firm, and we need to find that square, that resource that we need. Okay, so this is my picture. I want to tell you, if you feel the need to start contributing if you feel the need at this stage to start adding color, you're welcome to do that. I honestly don't feel that need, I'll be honest with you. I feel the necessity to go through all the stages, and then I will add colors. I like to do color coordination, because I feel that the whole picture, all these resources will contribute and work together. That's how I feel. You can have your own creative process, but I urge you to follow my practice, because I feel like if you start coloring this picture, you may get stuck in it, and then you will have less necessity, less urge to move on further to the next stages, okay? And it's very important for you to move on to the next stage, okay? Because you want to resolve all those 4 quadrants, okay? So now we're going to draw the 3rd stage, okay? What is the 3rd stage? The 3rd stage is the passing of the birth canal. We are in the very active phase. The fetus is being pushed, I don't know if you know this, but giving birth is the most natural process. You know how in hospitals, in the medical field, they're so used to giving medication and epidurals and all the stuff that's necessary for a woman to feel relaxed and happy. Of course, it's very important to take care of a mother. It's so important. I know. I've been there. I have 5 kids, thank God. So I do know what it's like. And it's amazing. And I want to tell you that the female body is designed to give natural birth, which means the fetus will be born. The fetus is pushed out naturally by the uterus, okay? All those chemical imbalances that are made by the hormonal surgences in the female body, in the mother's body, are what creating the contractions, and contractions create movement. Remember how we talked about the chemical, electrical activities? this is what it is. You feel like an electrical activity because, right? Let's do some drumming now. Yeah, does it remind you of all this, kind of African kind of dancing, people dance around the fire? Right. Active kind of, activity. So what's happening here? In this stage, we're dealing with something very stressful, right? At this stage already, we passed by the second stage, and at this stage we realize whether you're ready or not in your attitude, and you better be ready. You better go through the second stage, preparing yourself in a good way. At this stage, you are being pushed out by the uterus, by your mother's body, by, kind of in your mind, this world that just accepted you in the beginning and said, hello, we welcome you. Now they're like, okay, goodbye, you got to move on. And you're like, move on where? There's a famous like Facebook sharing picture where there is a picture of twins and they're like in a uterus kind of two fetuses together, and one fetus says, what do you think is going to happen afterwards? And the second fetus says, afterwards? What do you mean afterward? This is the world. This is our world. There's no afterwards. This is it. Where we are now is what we should be enjoying and having fun and loving it. And the second fetus says, interesting. I mean, the first fetus, the original said, what do you think is going to happen? Said, I actually think that this is a transitional stage. I think that after this, there will be, and the first fetus says, I actually think that this is a transitional world, and after this, we're going to go into a higher level existence. So this is similar, we're not sure what's going on here. We feel like we're drawn both backwards to stay in the comfort and then going forward. Over here, this is the birth canal. And, people, if you ever given birth, whoever is watching us, passing through the birth canal has to be nice and quick and efficient. And this is what's happening, okay? So Grof in his theory mentioned that this is the most stressful situation for a fetus because there's disruption in the oxygen, right? Disruption of the oxygen because the fetus doesn't, needs to breathe on its own, looking for the oxygen because of the chemical imbalance. The regular breathing through the umbilical cord is not working anymore. So the fetus itself feels that sensation, that pressure that needs to come out in order to get the necessary oxygen to breathe. This is kind of signified graphically by a vertical growth, If this was horizontal, this was more diagonal. Over here it's vertical. It's an active phase, If we talk about the biblical allegory, this was the paradise. This was a stage where Adam decided that he wants to try the fruit from the tree of good and evil. And this stage is allegory to exit from the paradise, right? Dealing with stress, right? This is the stage of dealing with stress, okay? Here we experience some stress, but over here we say, bring it on, we're going to deal with you. And a lot of people we know, like workaholics, people who are extremely energetic and extremely active, they often purposefully look for a stressful situation. This is a stressful situation because the fetus is squeezing through a narrow tube, and it has to come out on the other end. It's a fighting situation, right? The fetus is fighting its way through. It's feeling how, it's passing through this narrow channel, so to say, and it's it doesn't know what to do, but the channel, the canal, is actually very naturally vibrating, because that's where the contractions are, the vibration sensations that allows the birth canal to naturally slide the fetus out, so to say, like, but the fetus doesn't fully understand that yet. So at this point, it's developing trust, okay? This is where we get our resource in developing trust. We develop the trust that God loves us. It gives us this great, comforting world. It turned the harsh contraction into a drum play. So now in this stage, we're going to have a very active phase of breathing, and then we're going to do a release of tension, okay? So you can actually put your hands down on the second stage. Feel this energy, because this is the preparation for the third stage, okay? Now we're breathing even quicker than the second stage. We're doing a series of 10 breathing. This is not holotropic breathing, because holotropic breathing it's much longer, but we're kind of getting a little bit a taste of it, okay? I'm ready. Okay. This actual release of tension was very active for me. I didn't want to stop. I wanted to keep going and going. For me personally, it's a natural stage, and actually for my quest, it's also a natural stage. So yeah, I actually feel the need to continue. So you know what? I'm going to go with my intuition. You guys don't have to do this. It's my personal need. I feel the intuition. I'm going to get back to this line, for example, and do a few more seconds of tension, release of tension, okay? Okay, there you go. I feel the need for it, yeah. Let's see how the marker is drawing. Okay, it's good. So we're going to go over this. I am going to stop the video. I want you to go through this by yourself. Have some meditative station. Remember the breathing, please, okay? Don't do it all the time, just a little bit. Certain times when you feel the need to, it will give you some necessary kind of push to continue the curving. If you feel the need to stop, to go, take a break, no taking a break. Make sure you curve everything out, all the intersections, before you take that necessary break to drink or eat something, okay? I'm going to stop the video. I feel the need to have a little one-on-one moment. I need that meditation on my own. I urge you to do the same thing. This is an important meditation to focus on. Okay, I finished with my curving out of the third quadrant of the third stage, and this is what I got. You see how active this stage? I wanted to show you, like, I had that intuitive feeling that I needed to add more lines, and after I finish, I curved everything out and I added the neurographic lines, to connect my picture to the outside world. And look how active it is, right? Notice how comparably, like, this stage is more calming and it's more stable. This stage is moving around. You see the circles moving from the square, and but this one is extremely active. Do you notice that? So I wanted to point that out to you. I'm going to bring out some resources. Now, the resources over here. This is an active stage, okay? I would like to add a circle here. I might want to add a triangle. I'm not sure yet. I want a triangle, because triangle is an active shape, graphically speaking, and we do have, as much as we try to avoid triangles in regular, like when we talk about relationship, really should depend on your topic, on your quest. The only reason I would advise to add a triangle here is if you're trying to give yourself some energy. If you need that help to go through the third, depending on the way you finish, while you were curving out, what was the process? Did you feel the need to, like, did you feel the need for some resources? So if you need resource, like if you felt like you're tired, you want to sleep, you don't want to continue doing it, that means you need some energy, some resources. In that case, you can add a triangle, but you have to be very careful. I urge you to take a class in modeling, neurographic modeling, where we in details explain what is the purpose of the triangle and how to draw it. So I would in general advise just drawing a circle. Do not draw a square in this stage, because this stage is for growing. This stage is for active phase. Square is for stability. You usually don't grow with your square, so definitely do not put a square in here. You can put a circle. And let's, I think I might want to add a triangle, but remember with a triangle, you have to give it, as soon as you decide on a triangle, you have to figure out why do you need a triangle. While drawing a triangle, right away you say, this triangle is for, let's give an example, for professional development. You want to add a triangle, you say, this triangle is to increase my energy into developing my project. Did you understand what I did? I gave this triangle a specific direction. If you don't give your triangle a direction, that triangle may come back and kind of poke you, because that's exactly what it does. It pokes. The triangles have, corners. It has, it has that shape where it has the sharpness in it. So if you don't want that sharpness to poke you, you have to make sure you direct it toward the right direction, okay? Okay, I have a circle here that I'm interested in making. Okay, see what happened? My circle did not come out like the kind of circle that I'd want to be, so it's okay. I'm making a few trials, and then we're going to curve it out. I'm going to make it thicker. The circle is going to be thicker. I definitely want it to stand out. I really would like this resource of the circle in this stage of my life. I want the circle to stand out as a resource in my third stage, because I definitely need this resource in my fighting area, in my active phase. I want this resource to, I don't know if I'm going to put a triangle here yet. I'm not sure. What I'm going to do is, first I'm focusing on my circle. Now, if you feel the urge, if you feel the need to draw two shapes at the same time, you can do that. Sometimes, like over here, the square came very easily to me. Over here, the triangle is not coming so easily. And while curving out the circle, I'm actually thinking about the triangle and what would be my intent in the for the triangle in this specific quest of mine. So that's something for you to think about, okay? While you're curving out, if you need some energy to continue drawing this phase. Okay, active breathing. Remember, that's your resource. That's your breathing resource. Okay, there are other resources. If you need some help, you can put your hand on the second quadrant and get some resources. I'm going to curve everything out first, and then if I still feel the need to get some inspiration for the triangle, I will do it. Meanwhile, I'm thinking if I need a triangle or I can go without it. You may not necessarily, by the way, if you're a very energetic person and you easily get up and join something and do something, then you know what? I'm going to urge you not to worry about adding triangles. You may not need a triangle. I'm going to tell you that right away. If you're a naturally energetic person, you may not need it, and then maybe you want to. For natural energetic people, by the way, triangles come easy and they burn easily, meaning they use up. Okay, so just want you to watch out for the triangle. I am very careful about the triangle, and Pavel Piskaryov, the founder of Neurographics, gets very he's very serious. He also talks about the importance of safety when it comes to drawing triangles, because triangles are a surge electrical. Remember, we use that word, electrical surge. There you go. Triangles are like contractions to a fetus, okay? In the second and the third stage specifically also. There you go. I just found a perfect allegory to the triangles, okay? Okay, people, we are almost finished curving out all around the circle. And I am thinking, what am I going to do next, whether or not I am getting ooh, I see, you know what, intuitively I am seeing I'm seeing a square, but I don't want a square. And by the way, you understand, right? Graphically, any square can be a triangle. Okay, let me think. But I think I'm gonna focus on a triangle. I see now. I even know what kind of triangle I'm looking for. I'm looking for that triangle. I know already where it's directing, but it's not coming to me. I just saw a triangle. Excellent. This is what I want, okay? Yeah, I'm going to bring out the natural lines that are in my picture, and then I finish them. See what I'm saying? If you look long enough and if you focus your intuition, that shape you're looking for, it will come to you. You just have to, like, you know, kind of focus and look for it. There you go. It's a nice triangle. You see how stable it is? That's exactly what I'm looking for. And now I'm gonna, while curving it out, I'm going to give it direction. You know, I'm going to give it a specific intention in regards to my quest, how it will go. So you should do the same thing. Take 2 minutes to meditate while I'm curving out. And I suggest you do the same thing. Curve out the triangle and meditate to make sure it's going to go in the right direction. I am going, as you can see, I am making my triangle nice and thick. I want it to stand out. I was wondering about that, if I should make it stand out and let it kind of like be inside the picture, you know. And I decided that I want it to really stand out. I want it to be this amazing force. And I'm going to use that word. Amazing, amazing force of light, of energy, you know, of this amazing necessity to shine and to direct, you know, to give the necessary light to my quest, for the quest to complete so successfully. I must say over here that naturally I am finishing with my my brown marker, as you can see, is coming to an end. This is very interesting how, guess it's set, you know, it did what it had to do at this stage. It helped me work out the second stage and the third stage. We're going to go now to the fourth stage. It's an important, interesting stage because the fourth stage is more understandable to all of us because it's the closest. Let's focus more on the third stage. I'm going to add some holotropic breathing to it. Very nice. You get a little headache, a little light air, you know, from the breathing. You're not fully inhaling oxygen, so your head is getting a little lightheaded. Okay, so this is my triangle. Yeah, I like it. Very happy for it. Very nice. Excellent. Yes, I'm very happy about this triangle. I want to direct it with my hand energy as well. So just you can do the same thing. Everything I do, you can learn and do the same thing, I'm sure. Probably know those techniques. If you don't, you're welcome to take them because they're truly amazing, okay? Putting it down and now it's race to the finish, okay? We're coming to the fourth quadrant. What is the fourth quadrant? The fourth quadrant is the birth itself, okay? The beginning of birth, okay? As an independent body, okay? It's the body's coming out. It went through the birth canal and came out of the mother's body, right? Independent body, okay? That's it. Now the body can function on its own. What's happening during the fourth quadrant, okay? No more suffocation. It has a full access to the oxygen, and we know that's number one thing that the fetus is supposed to do. The fetus is supposed to breathe in the first in the first seconds, not even minutes, but seconds after birth, and that's what nurses do. It has a very great feeling. It has a feeling of a triumph, you know, it's survival of birth. It's a triumph, you know. It's like at this point the fetus is saying, oh yes, now I can breathe in, literally, you know. Now what Grof argued, that it still has discomfort from noise and light, but the feeling of comfort that comes from the fact that there is, again, the feeling of unity. This is the ideal way any child should be born. When you're born, have this natural connection with the outside world, and that's why the doctors, a lot of specialists says that right after birth, it's so important to give that baby to the mother, to form, to not just form, there is that connection, but rather to strengthen that connection, natural connection to the mother. And they actually say the father should so be present. The father should be present next to the mother, and the baby should be having a feeling that it's next to the mother and the father. And that's how that connection, that natural connection that the baby, newborn baby has of unity, of belonging in this world, the way it becomes strengthened is by having a physical, you know, they call it skin to skin. They put the baby right next to the mother's breast on the skin. You know, it's so important to have that physical, that ephemeral, you know, that emotional skin-to-skin contact with the mother. And that's what makes the child triumph and say, I went through the stage and look what's happening. I'm even closer with my mother on a different scale, on a different level. We're still close. Yes, I'm not inside. I'm not connected to her physically. I am connected to her out of bonding choice, and that's the most amazing feeling there is. So in this stage, we have, like I mentioned, survival of the birth. It's a triumphal feeling. Then we have the actualization. You start saying, I am an actual living being. And then as a result comes a motivation to live in this world, right? So first comes the triumph, the feeling of unity, of belonging in the world. Then comes the actualization. You say, I live in this world. I'm actually breathing in oxygen, feeling my mother's body, my mother's skin, feeling that warmth, that familiar smell even that I experienced in the womb. So yes, life is good. And then you say, you know what, life is amazing. And that's where gives you the motivation to contribute to the world. You start saying, I want to live in this world. I want to take everything it offers to me, because do you remember what's happening now? From the fourth quadrant, we're going back into the first. Not just going back. We're not going back. We are connecting it all together. If the second and the third were connected down here, the first and the fourth are connected. Because what we're saying now is that the world was created for me and I was created for the world. Exactly the mantra, exactly the prayer that we said in the first stage, right? And we say we want to contribute. We have a motivation. And that's when we realize that the reason why we were in this world first is to get a taste of a paradise, to get a taste of what it's like to be in a paradise. And then we come here and we say, this is my lesson. I'm here to make reality into a paradise, okay? This is a goal in life. This is the goal for every single human being, to turn the reality into that paradise. Now you understand why it was so important for us to experience paradise in the best possible way, because while that we come back to the real life, we have to make sure that the real life is turned into a paradise. This is the reason why Adam, who was in the Garden of Eden in the paradise, decided to try the fruit from the tree of good and evil. It was a necessity to try it. He had to try it. He had to make sure that he comes out into this world which has imperfection, which has evil. Remember how we said that there's no evil here? There is evil here. There is hardships. There is contractions. There is stress. And we undergo that stress, right? We come out through the birth canal and we're back into a different dimension. This is the real physical life. This is our dimension, the world we live in. And our job to turn this world into the object of our affection, which is a paradise. We all want to live in a paradise, and this is our job. Turn the world into a paradise. Turn the world into the Garden of Eden. And that's why Adam came out of the Garden of Eden, to make sure he turned the whole world into the Garden of Eden. And this is the way Messianic Judaism, by Messianic Judaism I mean Kabbalistic Judaism, Kabbalah says the major reason why we live is to help turn this world into the most perfection. You know how people talk about the utopia, and it sounds like it's a sci-fi story. No, utopia does exist. The word utopia is associated with something negative, where it's like you want some perfect world, but it doesn't really exist. Well, guess what? There is a perfect world, and it does exist, and it was here in the paradise. Our job is to turn this world into a paradise. Are we ready? And guess what? I was thinking hard, and now I want to take my black marker again. Isn't that interesting how my intuition is telling me that these two worlds were supposed to be drawn in a brown color, but this world going back to black, okay? It's going back to black. Okay, how are we breathing in this section? We are breathing realistically, meaning in real life, we sometimes breathe nice and slow when we go to sleep, and then sometimes we'll breathe, like the second or the third stage when we need some action, when we need to do stuff, when we need to create something, okay? We're going to do a series of breathing. Put our hands down and get some energy so we can draw. We can actually get the energy, you know what? No, not from the second or the third. I want to get the energy from the paradise, so I know what I'm building in my fourth quadrant. What am I building in this world, okay? I'm going to have a natural breathing. Sometimes I'm going to go with my intuition. It will be somewhat slow, and then at one point I will have an active breathing maybe. I'm going with my intuition. You're welcome to go with yours. A series of about 6 to 10 breathing, and then we're going to do a release of tension in the fourth quadrant, okay? That will help us understand what is it that we need to do in this world with our potential. Remember to smile and connect yourself to the purple chakra, the chakra on the very top of your head that connects you to the universe, connects you to God Almighty, that lets you get in touch with your potential. I'm ready. Oh, there you go. I just made a throw. Release of tension, okay? You're welcome to do yours when you're ready. Try not to stay too long in the breathing meditation. The meditation, remember, is only there to give you resources to do the release of tension. This is the important intent for you. Okay. And as you can see, I'm having a connection with the first quadrant here, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to do circling out. And I'm going to wrap up the video as well, because it's a very long video. I am going to put this video out, as you will see it. Later on, I may just add my picture of the finished picture in the comment section of the video, okay? I want you to do that. Let's do this. Now, remember, if you need some resources to continue going, if you feel the need to stop, we do not stop until we curve all the intersection and all the corners out, okay? If you feel the need for some resources, you can either go to one of the stages to listen to your intuition. You can go here. It will give you some physical activity. You can do some breathing. You're now familiar with all three types of breathing that allow you, to either be calm or the opposite, to become active. And then there is a intermediate breathing that will let you, be in the middle. That's fine too. Now, remember to curve everything out and then do the connection to the outside world before you start going to coloring and doing all the stages of the algorithm, bringing out the big figures through the coloring, okay? I am going to say goodbye to you. It was a wonderful journey. I would like to thank you. I would like to especially thank Claudia. Claudia is the winner of the conference, of the Neurographic Americas conference that we had in the winter at the end of January. She submitted beautiful, beautiful pictures, and she was announced as a winner. And as a beautiful present for her pictures, I have created this video, and I would like to give a big shout out to Claudia, and I would like to say thank you, Claudia, for giving me such a wonderful, wonderful, motivation to create this video. And I hope you will have lots of blessings, lots of energy, lots of motivation as you go through all the 4 stages of the rebirthing process based on Grof's matrices, and with the use of Neurographica as was created, founded by Pavel Piskaryov. May you get clarity in your vision. May you get strength to create and go toward your vision, toward your quest. And may you experience true happiness and true feeling of paradise, like we did when we were fetuses in the first stage, like Adam did when he was in the Garden of Eden. And remember, we're all prototypes of Adam, because Adam is an archetype. And we all love having a beautiful, amazing journey. I hope that you also had a wonderful journey, and I'm wishing you the best of luck in all your endeavors, in all your quests, okay? I salute you, adios, I salute you, happy drawing. And Claudia, I hope you're going to send me your picture, and my picture, like I mentioned before, will be in the comment section. By the way, people, you are welcome to send me your picture as well. I will be very happy to look at it. I enjoy looking at the pictures of my students. So if you feel the necessity to comment, you're welcome to leave a comment under this YouTube video. You're welcome to send me a personal note, a personal message letting me know if you're interested in any aspects of this video. I enjoyed being with you. After you finish drawing the neurographic lines, bring out a resource. The resource in this stage would be, I would say, a circle. I would say if you know how to draw triangles, if you're familiar with triangles, you can give yourself triangles. If you feel the necessity, remember when I mentioned before, if you give yourself a correct intention, why do you need this triangle, okay? If you need some energy toward the realization of your quest, you can give yourself triangles, but please do me a favor and take safety precautions. Remember, when you draw triangles, remember to give yourself an intention right away. Say, this triangle is intended to bring, and then say, what is it intended to bring? Triangles are here for energy, okay? Please remember that. Okay, I salute you. Goodbye. Happy drawing and happy finishing of this picture. After you add the resource here, you can start coloring the whole picture. And I'm sure it will look so beautiful. Oh, so beautiful. I'm already envisioning. For some reason, I have this intuitive connection that all your pictures are going to be so beautiful. You're going to finish the pictures and say, wow, what an amazing drawing this was. I feel like I was reborn. Ha ha ha. Yes, that was pun intended. Okay. People, goodbye and happy drawing. Make sure you connect this quadrant to the other ones as well. Okay, I had some connections with the third stage, as you can see. Like, I feel the need because I guess it gives me some energy from bottom here. Okay. Okay. This is interesting. Thank you. Goodbye.